Guys, I'm LQ. This is the LQ review, and I'm here with yes. I am a 38-year-old dude who is here with my review of Descendents 3. But let me explain. I have a 5-year-old daughter, and I like to, movies is my passion. I love movies, and I like to be able to share my passion with my kids. So being able to sit down and watch something like the Descendants movies with my daughter, it was a really special experience. So let me say, I liked this movie. I did. I liked it. I liked the experience that I got out of it. Last night, my daughter got in her pajamas and I got in some comfy clothes. We popped some popcorn. We sat on this recliner I'm in right now, and we covered up and we had our beverage and our popcorn, and we just sat here and we watched Descendants 3. And it was a great time that I had with my daughter, right? So that being said, this movie for me was more about the experience rather than the narrative. And I know that's not something that's really fair to talk about when you're critiquing a movie, but for me, that's what it was about. But let me try to critique it for a second here, all right? I've seen all 3 Descendants movies, and the second one is still my favorite. But not by much. This one was a very well done kids movie. All right, the musical numbers were fun, they were catchy, very well choreographed, and the message in this movie about working together, overcoming differences to work together. You had some people who were heroic in former movies and people who were villainous in former movies. They came together in this movie for the greater good, and even villains was able to act heroically in this movie. So that is something that I thought was a very good message. And it was about moving forward together. Forget about the past. People have done stupid things in the past. Bad decisions have been made in the past. People have said dumb things. I mean, bad decisions have been made in the past, and now we have to move forward. And we're stronger if we move forward together. And that was a very good message for a kids movie. It's a message that applies to real life, right? There's even a point in the movie where they say, let's celebrate our differences. Let's come together. Let's celebrate our differences, and let's move forward. That's the kind of stuff I want my kids to be watching. This idea of inclusiveness, this idea of we're stronger together. It was a great message. It was a great message, and for that, I really respected what the movie gave us. As far as action pieces, we didn't get as much action as we got in the previous Descendants movies, and these movies have never been about the action. They've been more about the relationships between the characters, the friendships, and the songs and the choreography and all that. This one had more of those relationship moments, a lot of the choreography moments, but a lot less of the action moments. But that's forgivable because, like I said, these 3 movies have never been about the action. But the villains that you liked in the previous movies, they're back, and they're working together with our heroes to overcome something a little bigger. I don't want to give away a whole lot, but the villain in this movie is somebody who is not from the Isle of the Lost. The villain of this movie is somebody who's from the land Ordon, the land where the heroes live. And that was also a message in itself, that good people can do bad things, and bad people can do good things, and that we're not people who have come out of molds. We're not created and okay, you're a good guy and you're a bad guy and you have to stick with those roles. No, roles in life are interchangeable, and your life is what you make it. So again, strong messaging here for kids, and messaging that I really liked was that you are what you choose to become. They're talking about the villains' kids who are on the Isle of the Lost. They don't have to be villains. They can be whatever they want to be. Like I said, overall, it wasn't quite as good as the second one, but it was a lot better than the first one. The first one I didn't care for that much. I didn't really jump on board and start enjoying this franchise with my daughter until the second one. I watched the first one with her, but I kind of had to work to get through the first one, whereas the second one was something that was a lot easier for me to get through. And same with the third one. The third one was just, it was kind of just this delightful little movie that I enjoyed with my daughter. So all that being said, a lot of this movie was overshadowed by the recent passing of Cameron Boyce, and I thought that they did a really nice tribute to him at the beginning, a really nice tribute at the end. And, as you watch the movie, you see just how talented this kid was, and just what a shame it was what happened to him. So I thought that this was a nice way to highlight, all his strengths as an actor. And, it's unfortunate that he's probably never going to go down as like this great actor because he was taken too soon. But, if these three movies are his legacy, then he's got a pretty decent legacy, because these are three very, this is a good trilogy for kids. It's one of the best, Disney, straight to TV trilogies ever. I would put it above any of them, even the High School Musicals. And we saw there were some very strong actors to come out of the High School Musical: Zac Efron, Vanessa Hudgens. So it's unfortunate that we got to see this strong performance and ended up being his last. But that being said, this was Dove Cameron's movie. A lot of people my age, saw her in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But this is, again, what she's probably going to be known for until she moves on to something else, is the Descendents movies. But this was her movie. This is her movie probably more than even Part 1 and Part 2 was. She had more to do in this movie, whereas her fellow VKs, Villains Kids, they had less to do in this movie. This is more about her and the villain and their arcs. So, good, strong kids movie, very enjoyable. I feel like, if you watch it with your daughter or your son, there's a good message here, and there's enough here as far as music and choreography and just some funny moments to keep the kids entertained, but it's catchy enough and relatable enough to what's going on in society today to keep the adults entertained. So for me, as far as the experience was concerned, I thought it was a very strong experience. I had a good time, and I'm glad that I took the time to watch this movie with my daughter. So that's how I feel about it. And, I don't know that this is a movie I'm going to give an A to, because for me it was an A experience, right? This was an A experience. If I were to grade it more critically, it would probably be less than an A, because it's still a made-for-TV movie. But at the same time, watching a movie to me is more than just the narrative. It's the experience. And for me, the experience was an A experience, because I sat down, watched it with my daughter, and we had that time together. So that's how I feel about this movie. Is this something that you watched? If you watched Descendants 3, let me know what you thought of it. Did you like it better than the second one? Or are you one of the people who liked the first one the best? Let me know in the comments down below. And thank you so much for being here at the LQ Review, where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. And until next time, we'll see you later.